Focus on the number of the week, and it's still a little bit on unemployment or employment in the country. So this is a number that you want to take note of this week. 31% of civil service staff are between the age of 50 to 59 years. You remember that headline that was in the Standard earlier this week, talking about a crisis within the civil service with an aging population. So this is about a third of that population. And this came from that report. You will remember it. In 2014, the Ministry of Devolution and Planning conducted the capacity assessment and rationalization of public service. This was conducted across both the county governments and the national governments. So why is this figure so? Why is a third of the workforce in the civil service above the age of 50 to 59, meaning they're headed for retirement in the next 5 to 10 years? Why is this so? Well, it's put down to two reasons by experts. One is that there's poor talent retention in the civil service, with many leaving by the age of 40 because they talk of a number of issues: poor remuneration, slow career advancement. In fact, some are said to have stayed in the same position for between 4 and 40 years. Some of the hardest hit sectors with that, as far as slow career advancement goes, are the health sector, the state law office, ICT, and economics, as well as engineering. Take a listen to this. The African Development Bank did a study and a survey, and they found those areas of deficit we're talking about: health and engineering. Now, in engineering, they said we have 1,860 engineers in the public service against a demand of 30,000. So as you can see, the issue of talent retention. The other issue, of course, was the raising of the retirement age from 55 to 60. And that was done in the Mwai Kibaki government as a bit of forestalling this amount of money, huge payout that would be needed to go towards these ones. If you take a look at the contrast number of young people who are in the civil service, just 11%. And that number is about 22,476 civil servants are aged between 18 and 29 years. Why is this number an issue, you ask? Well, talking about digitalizing the government and having people that are able to keep up with technology and latest trends, and also ensuring that the over 60% of Kenyans who are young and who are between these ages are not getting into the civil service, which is the biggest employer in the country. Are there solutions? Yes. A better remuneration package, better opportunities for growth. And the 2016 statistical abstract talks about this, talks about a master human resource plan to just take a look at what's going on within the sector, and also an annual human resource planning, as well as integrating the human resource system with IT systems, because apparently these systems aren't talking to each other. So when you take a look at these very few number of young people who are in the civil service, then you start to ask yourself whether government is moving in the right direction in terms of having this at least to a 50-50 number, at least having this much, much higher than it is at the moment. But there's also the question of whether politicians are speaking to this issue, or if it's just political rhetoric that is at rallies in terms of getting more youth into employment, into the civil service. Is there anyone that's addressing this particular issue? Well, you be the judge. That's your number for this week. We're taking a quick break. The sports news and my take are all coming up next.